Today we're going to go through just a nice, simple, short chair sequence. So when practicing chair yoga, it can be in a comfy chair in your house, it can be at a kitchen table chair, anything you've got around. I like to use these fold-out chairs because they typically have a good height for a bar, and there's space in here to do some stuff in. So you decide, find a comfortable space for you to practice in a chair. The less squishy it is, the easier it's going to be to kind of find a stable foundation. And if it doesn't have armrests, you'll have a lot more room to either side to kind of move yourself around on the chair. But again, you adapt it to what you've got around you. And once you're ready, just getting really nice and grounded into the seat of the chair through the sits bones. Make sure the feet are flat on the floor. You can lean back against the back of the chair if that's going to be more comfortable and stable for your back. It's my preference just to sit away from the back of the chair so that we're eliminating the chance for rounding in the spine. So sitting up nice and tall, little lift of the heart, hands can just rest on the tops of the thighs. And just beginning for a moment, eyes can be closed or just let the eyelids get heavy, maybe gazing towards the floor. Just start to tune into the body. Giving yourself just a quick moment to do a small body scan. So maybe just noticing from the soles of the feet on the floor, up through the lower legs, knees, thighs, the sits bones grounding down into the chair. The lift and stacking of the spine, the weight of the shoulders, the resting of the arms, length through the back of the neck, soften through the jaw, and just feel the breath moving in and out of the body for a moment. You can start to deepen the breath. You can also start to decide where you want to begin to breathe. Maybe you inhale down towards the belly for that really relaxing belly breathing. Maybe you fill the rib cage, feeling it expand out 360 degrees. Maybe you can target both. But taking a moment, pausing, just to feel that, feel your breath. Let's take one more deep breath in and deep breath out. And you can start to blink the eyes open. So just beginning, this is going to be a short sequence that targets from the head all the way down to the feet. Just a couple of movements for each body part so that you can feel really comprehensive and full in how you're moving your body, how you're using your body. And we'll always link it with breath. So just beginning with the head, let's take an inhale. And as you exhale, just turn and look out over your left shoulder. Inhale, bring it back to center. And exhale, turn and look out over your right shoulder. Inhale back to center. Exhale over the left. Inhale to center. Exhale over the right. Let's do one more time each side, inhaling to center, exhaling to the left, inhale to center, and exhale to the right. And inhale to center, just a couple of shoulder shrugs. So let's inhale the shoulders up towards the ears, and then exhale, roll them back and down. Inhale, squeeze them up towards the ears. And exhale, roll them back and down. And one more time, inhale, squeeze up. And exhale, roll back and down. A little bit bigger of a movement. Arms can hang by the sides. And then inhale, reach the arms forward and up. And then exhale, release them forward and down. And just 3 of these. Inhale, reach forward and up. And exhale, forward and down. And one more time, inhale, reach forward and up, and exhale, forward and down. Nice. I like to bring hands to the heart for this next one, but you're welcome just to have the hands on the thighs or even grabbing a hold of the sides of the chairs just to keep yourself nice and stable, nice and grounded. We're going to take an inhale and center, and then as you exhale, just rotating the center of the heart over to the left. Any amount here. Inhale to center, exhale over to the right. Inhale to center, exhale over to the left. Inhale to center, exhale over to the right. One more time each side. Inhale to center, exhale over to the left. Inhale to center, exhale over to the right. Inhaling back to center. Hands are just going to come to the fronts of the knees or the tops of the thighs. For this next one, I recommend that you kind of scoot forward towards the front edge of the chair. So you've got a little bit more space behind you, especially if there's a pretty substantial back to the chair. Feet again are going to be flat on the floor. Again, hands on the thighs. We're going to do a nice seated cat-cow. So I'll talk you through it once, and then I'll turn to the side so you can see what my spine is doing. So on the inhale, we want to think about pulling the chest forward and rolling the shoulders or squeezing the shoulders back. So we're arching throughout the whole back of the spine. And maybe you even look up towards the ceiling. And then as you exhale, we're going to reverse it. So we're going to pull the navel back, round the spine back behind you. Shoulders can kind of round forward. Maybe you even roll back on the pelvis a little bit and just let the head drop. So again, from the side, so you can see what my spine is doing, we're going to inhale, draw the heart forward, pull the shoulders back, create that nice deep arch in the back. And then on the exhale, we round the spine back behind, roll back on the pelvis a little, drop the head. So we're going to do this 3 more times. Inhale to pull the heart forward. This is our seated cow pose. And then exhale, round the spine back, seated cat pose. Inhale, draw the heart forward, shoulders back, maybe even looking up. And exhale, round the spine back, let the shoulders round forward. One more time, inhale, heart forward. And exhale, round the spine back. Nice. Inhale, sit up tall. Let's pause for a moment and just feel the spine top to bottom for a moment, from the neck through the rib cage region down into the low back. We're getting some good movement through the back body. A couple of deep breaths. Now you're welcome to stick with that cat-cow movement as a strengthener as well as building mobility in the back. If you want to add a little bit of challenge to it, again, feet flat on the ground, instead of having the arms resting on the thighs, we're going to move the arms with us, and there's going to be a little bit of leaning forward. So as you lean forward, you're going to feel that weight transition into the soles of the feet. So again, we want nice grounded feet here. So it'll look like this. On the inhale, we'll reach up. You can arch into the back a little bit, lift through the heart. And then as you exhale, arms are going to come forward. You're going to lean it forward and reach the hands back behind you. Palms will face the floor. So rather than rounding the spine here, we're going to draw forward through the heart center. So again, from the side, so you can kind of see what the spine is doing. We're going to inhale, reach the arms up, maybe arch through the back a little bit. And then as you exhale, leaning forward, let the weight transfer to the feet. Arms reach back behind you. So we've got a little bit of core stability here and some upper back engagement. And we'll go through this. Again, you can stick with cat-cow or you can add in this arm movement. 3 times. On an inhale, let's reach up, maybe arching the back. And then exhale, leaning it forward, reaching the arms back behind you. Inhale, sit tall, reach the arms up. And exhale, leaning it forward, reach the arms back behind you. One more time, inhale, sit tall, reach up. And exhale, leaning forward, just slightly reach the arms back behind you. Inhale, sit tall, reach up. And then exhale, hands down onto the tops of the thighs. Nice. So coming into a little bit more of a stretching twist rather than that just rotating active twist. Let's bring the right hand to the top of the left thigh. And now the left hand can come around behind you. Maybe you grab the side of the chair. Maybe you can even reach the top of the back of the chair. Keep the sits bones nice and grounded here, feet grounded, sitting tall, lifting up through the heart. We'll take a twist over to the left. Good. Nice deep breath in and deep breath out. And then let's inhale to center, moving into the other side. Left hand comes to the top of the right thigh, and then we'll bring that right hand back behind, maybe grabbing the side of the chair, or if you can reach it, the back of the chair, and allowing that to assist you in rotating the heart over to the right. Remember, we want to stay grounded through the sits bones, lift up through the heart. So nice tall spine here. Let's take a deep breath in. And a deep breath out. And then inhale your way back to center. Nice. So again, staying more towards the front of the chair here. Coming down into the hips a little bit. We're going to take some movement and then we'll come into a stretch. So we want some room to the sides of us because we're going to do a little side stepping. And you can grab a hold of the bottom of the chair just to kind of stabilize your seat. If you can't quite reach the bottom of the chair, hands can always be on the tops of the thighs, or if you have armrests, you can hold on to the armrests. Feet start flat on the floor, sitting up nice and tall here, so gentle engaging through the belly just to stabilize the back. And then we're just going to step the left foot out to the left. We want to make sure that the kneecap and the toes are turning in the same direction. So the whole leg, the whole femur bone is going to rotate out. And then we'll just step it back in. Same thing other side, right foot steps out. And again, toes and kneecap pointing in the same direction. This whole femur bone is rotating. And then we'll step it back in. So just side to side. Left foot steps out. Step it in. Right foot steps out. Step it in. Left foot. Step it in. Right foot. Step it in. Left foot. Step it in. Right foot, step it in. We'll keep going side to side. You should start to feel the muscles in the outer hips beginning to engage here. And you might feel a little bit of heat building in the hip joint from the working of the muscle, the tensing of the muscle. You might not. It just depends on the innate strength that you already have there. But this is really great for building hip stability. So let's do this a few more times, side to side. Bringing the left foot out wide, right foot out wide. One more time each side, left foot, right foot, and we'll pause. So let's continue to build a little bit of heat in the hip joint before we come into the stretches. Same option, you can hold on to the bottom of the chair, armrests, or just the legs. Don't put any weight on the legs because we're going to be lifting them up. Nice tall spine, and then we're just going to do marches. So left knee lifts straight up towards the chest, and then lower. Right knee lifts, and lower. Left knee, and right knee. Left knee and right knee. And just side to side, just like this. You'll feel the front of the hip beginning to engage here. And you might even feel a little bit of engaging through the lower abdominals. You might feel the low back start to engage as it begins to try to counteract that lifting and that movement of the pelvis. If you want to make this just a little bit more difficult, a little bit more challenging, as you lift a leg, you'll then kick it straight, pressing through the heel, rebend, and lower. Lifting the other leg, kick it straight, pressing through the heel, rebend, and lower. So you decide how much challenge you provide yourself here. Make choices for yourself. Maybe you don't feel like doing this today, but tomorrow it'll feel good. And you'll feel as you straighten the leg, those muscles in the front of the thigh begin to engage. So we're getting into the quadriceps here. And we'll go side to side just a couple more times. Good. One more time each leg. So left leg and right leg. Good. Then pausing, let the legs rest for a moment. We can come into a really nice seated stretch. So starting with the left leg, we're going to bring the ankle just above the right knee. Now, if this is not an accessible position for you, you can always try to step that right foot forward, and it's going to lower the knee down. And if that's not quite accessible, grabbing any kind of a block or surface that's lower than that thigh is going to give you that resting point. But the idea is to roll the hip open, so this thigh is going to roll out. And if it's easy and accessible for you to get that ankle just above the right knee and you're not feeling much of a stretch, from there you can just start to lean forward onto the leg. And that downward pressure is just going to increase that rotation in the hip joint. I'm just taking a couple of breaths here. Try to stay lifted through the heart as you do this. So we've got a nice long spine and a supported spine. And deep breath in, deep breath out. And then sitting tall, let's step that left foot down and just find that stretch on the other side. So right ankle either coming just above that left knee or onto a surface a little bit lower. You find a level that feels comfortable. And if you want to find a little lean forward, just to work that hip, this femur bone down a little bit to increase that rotation, you can. Just make sure you're paying attention to how it feels. Being gentle on the body and recognizing when you need to back off a little bit because it's starting to feel like too much sensation, too much overwhelming sensation. And take some nice deep belly breaths or breathe out into the rib cage. Really just lengthen out your inhales, lengthen out your exhales a little bit. Let's take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. And then sitting up tall, you can step that right foot down. Pause for a moment, just feel the body. And then from here, we're going to turn ourselves to the side. Now this is where it gets a little bit difficult if you have an armrest on the chair, but if you can find even the surface of a table that you can sit on to do this, it can be a nice stretch for the front of the hip. So we can hold on to the back of the chair. We're turning over to the left, so left hand's going to hold on to the back of the chair. And then scooting towards the edge, we want to kind of have just one leg, one butt cheek on the chair so that we can drop the other leg down towards the floor. Now for some of us, that knee might even reach the floor, and that's okay. We're still getting some benefit and some stretch in the front of that hip. If the leg is just kind of dangling there, that's okay too. Just make sure you're holding onto the chair and you're nice and stable here. The opposite hand can rest on the thigh. You can hold on to the bottom of the chair. We want to stay lifted through the spine. And just let that leg be heavy. And if you want a little bit more sensation, you can scoot the foot a little bit further back behind you. And if you want to add a little bit of heat to this position, tuck the toes under on your right foot and press back through that heel. So we're coming into a lunge position. We want to make sure this left foot is nice and grounded. We're lifting up into the heart and we're stabilizing ourselves on the chair. So you decide whether this is super relaxed or a little bit more active to find that stretching sensation in the front of the right hip. And we'll take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. And you can stay in either of those variations of this pose right here. If you want to add a little twist into it, we'll bring the right hand to the back of the chair. Now both hands can hold on to the chair, and we'll draw the heart towards the back of the chair. And you go as far as is comfortable here. Make sure this left foot is grounded. The heart is staying lifted. If you need to relax that right leg down to find the twist, you can do that. You find your level of comfort here and just pay attention to the body. Notice how this feels. We'll take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. And one more inhale. And exhale, slowly release the heart forward. Let's release that right knee down and then rotate yourself towards the front of the chair. Nice. So finding that on the other side, let's rotate over to the right. We're going to have that right butt cheek and leg on the chair, holding onto the back of the chair with the right hand, and then just start by letting the left knee drop down towards the floor. See how that feels? Let yourself get stable and comfortable here on the chair. Make sure you're not going to tip forward at all. Make sure the chair's grounded. You've got a good grip. If you want to stick with this, just hanging that left leg down, stay here. If you want to scoot the foot a little bit further behind you, maybe get a little bit more sensation in the front of the hip, you're welcome to do that. And if you want to tuck the toes under and press back through the heel on that left leg, you're welcome to do that as well. You find a position that's going to work for you. Position that feels sustainable. Not too much sensation, but enough to breathe through. And then again, maybe you stay right here just in this lunge shape, or maybe you add that little twist. So left hand's going to reach back, grabbing a hold of the back of the chair. You can grab both sides of the back of the chair to increase that twist. You can keep this gentle. It's totally up to you, but we're aiming to rotate from the center of the heart. Making sure the legs are nice and grounded here and the heart is lifting up as it rotates. Let's take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. One more inhale. And then exhale, release the twist. First, lower that left knee down. You can step the foot forward and then rotate yourself towards the front of the chair. Good, and just pause for a moment. Let's just feel that. Good, so working a little bit more into opening the hips here. We're going to come into essentially a warrior two stance. Now, this can be as gentle as you need it to be, and we'll take steps leading up to it. So scooting towards the front of the chair, once again, this is another one of those poses that's a little bit easier if you don't have armrests on the chair. So we'll start by stepping the left foot out to the left. Now again, we'll kind of have the left butt cheek on the chair, and we want that knee and the toes to be pointing in the same direction. So it starts the same setup as that lunge, except this leg, we want to kind of step out to the side and press out into the outer edge of that foot. The chair is still supporting this left leg, but we're getting a little bit more rotation in this left leg. From here, if it's more comfortable for you to face that left knee, you can keep the heart rotated towards the left leg. If you can start to rotate the heart forward, coming into that full warrior two setup, it's just a little rotation through the rib cage. Now, if you're feeling pressure in this outer left hip from stepping it out to the side and pressing out into the foot is flat, just step it in a little bit. And if this is uncomfortable, you can stay with that knee bent and just have that rotation and that strength through the left knee. If you've got that foot out to the side, we've got the warrior two set up with the legs here and the heart's rotating forward. Maybe we add the arms. Maybe you reach out to the horizon. Nice lift of the heart. Little bit of work through the shoulders, a little bit of engaging here. And then from there, if it feels comfortable on the neck, you can look out over those left fingertips. So we've got a nice warrior two. Make sure this left knee is pressing out. So again, kneecap and toes are pressing in the same direction. And let's take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. One more inhale. And then exhale, release the arms down. Let's step that right foot in, step the left foot forward. Good. Pausing for a moment here. And then we'll take that warrior two stance on the other side. So stepping that right foot out nice and wide, and you can start to rotate yourself on the chair so the right butt cheek is staying on the chair, right leg is supported by the chair. Get nice and grounded through the foot. We want the kneecap and the toes pointing out on that 90-degree angle from the seat of the chair, pointed in the same direction. Maybe this is as far as you go. Maybe you're able to step that left foot back now. Toes are still pointed forward on that left leg. And if it's more comfortable for you to rotate the heart towards that right knee, that's totally fine. If you can start to rotate the heart forward, just finding that little rotation through the thoracic spine, so through the rib cage, that's the next step. We want to be pressing out into that left foot, so get really grounded through the sole of the foot. And again, if you start to feel pinching in this outer left hip, maybe that foot just steps back in. Staying here, or perhaps adding in the arms, reaching out to the horizon. Nice straight arms, active fingertips here. And then last step is to turn and look out over those right fingertips. And know that you can stop any step of the way here. Make sure that right knee is rolling out so the kneecap and the toes are pointed in the same direction. Let's take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. One more inhale here. And then exhale, release the arms down. Let's step that left foot in and step the right foot forward. And then pause for a moment. Feel the body here. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Good. So to find a little stretch through the back, let's step the feet out a little bit wider than the hips here. Get yourself really grounded on the seat of the chair. And then from there, maybe you just lean forward onto the thighs with the forearms. You can let the back relax here. And you're welcome to stay right here if you already feel a good amount in that back body. If you want a little bit more sensation, maybe you start to bring the hands down to the floor, and you can always stay on fingertips. You can also place pillow, folded blankets, books, or yoga blocks underneath your hands here so it's a little bit closer. And just take a moment, let the back settle into this. We're trying to get the shoulders towards the insides of the knees here. And if you want a little bit more sensation, let the head drop down, let the spine round. Hands can just kind of be heavy on the floor. If you have long enough arms and a long enough reach, you can always grab the front bottom legs of the chair to give yourself a little boost into that forward fold. And if you have that back bar that goes between the back two legs and you can reach it, that just helps you to find that leverage into a nice deep forward fold, grabbing a hold of it. But know that you don't have to go this far. And try to relax through the neck. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Deep breath in and deep breath out. And then nice and slowly start to walk yourself back out of it. Bringing yourself all the way back upright. Nice. And then we'll just sit feet grounded on the floor for a couple of breaths. You can close the eyes, or again, just let the eyelids get heavy. Softly gaze towards the floor. Just take a moment. You can find that quick body scan from the soles of the feet to the lower legs, through the knees, the thighs, up through the sits bones, the pelvis, traveling all the way up the spine, through the belly, the rib cage, up into the shoulders. Feel the weight of the shoulders. Feel that heaviness of the arms. Finding length through the back of the neck. Relax the jaw, relax the forehead. And then just feel the breath moving in and out of the body. A gentle expansion of the ribs. A gentle expansion of the belly. Let's take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Deep breath in and deep breath out. We'll bring the hands together in front of the heart. Bow the head in towards the hands. Taking a moment to close this practice with gratitude. Gratitude for the body. Gratitude for our ability to adapt to our environment and listen and honor what our body needs. And go ahead and lift the chin, open the eyes. Thank you guys so much for joining in just for this nice short sequence you can do sitting in your living room. Hope you guys feel well. Namaste.